Hey, my beautiful peeps, locking down the truth with Marci Lock. I'm enjoying the beach right now and all this gorgeous beauty. And this was actually I guess you would consider a working day. I got to coach my mastermind today. I rocked out a podcast, and then literally it's like hit the beach. I got a date to go out on, and gonna just enjoy the awesomeness as my norm. And there's something here that I want you to hear and to share with you. Is like, I declare my own worth. Only you can declare your own worth. So one of the principles in the Lock Laws of Prosperity that I teach is I actually just finished rocking out my money mindset program, finishing the recordings for that. And I teach these laws to prosperity and how to be in alignment with money and create money in your life. And something that I want you to hear is that you declare your own worth. Only you can determine and declare your own worth. So like yesterday I connected with one of my peeps in one of my group programs to look at his business structure and the different programs that he's offering and all of his stuff. And literally, by shifting some gaps and perceptions of the value that we're creating and seeing where there's a massive lack of seeing his own value and just up-leveling that, his business going from like, hey, my intention is, he's already had his best month ever, quadrupled his business and I was like, well, let's double that. And by us looking at the gaps, it's like, oh, he's going to more than double that, which we were going to double. And even when one of my personal clients was out the other day, and then we got to look at, again, some of this understanding of value, which is trusting yourself and seeing the value that you create and you declaring that own worth. When we looked at what he was going to, step into as offering for personal coaching, etc., and we decided and shifted some things and did some processes to commit to align to something else, he simply raised his hand and declared it, and the next morning had received it. And it's already received way more than what they thought was more than double what they thought that they could even make for the year. This is my point. You determine your own value. So you're waiting for and thinking that when will it come to me? You haven't fucking declared your own value and seen yourself as worthy of receiving this. So if money is simply a reflection of how much value you're creating for the world and how much you love yourself, if you have all this value to give and all these gifts and all these things, and there's a reason why you're still broke or playing in feast or famine, you're out of alignment with money. You're not actually asking for money because you don't believe you're worthy of receiving it, or you don't trust yourself in delivering it. There's an internal gap in this alignment of money to allow you to manifest it at such a great degree. So think about this. I was on this podcast this morning, and we were talking to more of a market of so this is a guy who's went from a trainer to rocked the fitness game to going online to doing all these things. And so a big part of his market is people who are personal trainers. And looking at how can someone go from, where I started as a trainer because I had blocks and disconnects with my body, to now being in a place where I have clients paying me $1 million to work with me for a year, to talk to me once a week. The value that I create in their life from a 1-hour conversation that they turn around and they get an ROI of $5 million and up-level and magnify their relationships and get everything they want in aligning to every aspect of their life. That's the value that they're paying for. They're not paying for the hourly call. They're not paying for, me designing something or a business strategy or whatever. They're paying for the internal alignment of where we get to go. The result that we create is the value that they're paying for. So when we even look at this and we break this down, and we go, okay, so, we think and we have this idea of time, like we're being paid for the time, etc. All these stories, these things got created around money when money was just a tool that we created to be an exchange of value. So instead of the bartering system that we used to use, which was like, all right, well, I don't want your potatoes, so what else could we create that can be an exchange of value? We created all these stories around the level of worth that it means and, the parameters around it. So you're thinking that, well, for this time period, I need to give them, it looks like this. So even as a trainer, if you think about it, and it's like if someone struggled with their body their entire life and been disconnected and, say they're not playing with their kids, they're not having any sex, they're, missing out on their family events in their life, and they're literally hiding away and losing their entire life because their consciousness level says that I am worthy, my value is based on what my body looks like, which is absolute bullshit, but that's what they're living through. And understanding, and because they don't believe they're worthy and deserving, what happens? They continue to sabotage. Their behaviors will always support what they believe they're deserving and worthy of and what they get. Now, if someone can break you through that and assist you in understanding how to work with your body and how to create that peace and alignment with it, how to live it with health, in a body of health with ease for the rest of your life, what's the value that you could ever put on that? To have actually your relationships happening, to have a sexual, connection to your spouse, which, the cost could become divorce. And not even being connected to your kids, not enjoying life. What's the real value that you can put on that? Do you think that's worth this little, this much per hour? And how much do they actually put into the investment of their time, effort, energy when that's all they're doing? There's that's why the law of parallel returns, whatever energy you put into something, you get back. How much you're investing in yourself is what you get back. So I just want you guys to hear, until you're declaring your own worth, until you're declaring what you're worthy of and seeing the value of what you bring for what it really is, you'll continue playing the game of waiting till it comes to you and it being outside of you. The truth is, you declare your own value. This is Marci Lock reminding you, power choice is yours. Choose your best life. Lock it down.